Son, daughter, I need you to listen with an open heart to what I'm about to tell you, because in these days, where everything is fast, where promises are made with a click, where likes are confused with value and followers with purpose, I see your heart being pressured by proposals that seem too perfect. Proposals that arrive through bright screens, well-written messages, opportunities that seemingly align with your desires, and everything seems urgent, beautiful, even spiritual. But let me remind you of something essential. Not every proposal is a blessing from me. Not every door that opens was unlocked by me. Not every invitation is a calling, and that's why today I speak to you with firmness and with love. Do not be confused. Do not make decisions based only on appearances. Do not get carried away by the emotion of the moment. Not all that glitters is light. Not everything that comes easily is the fruit of my hand. The enemy knows how to use beautiful language. He knows how to disguise traps as realized dreams. He also knows how to reach you, and sometimes he doesn't do it with fear, but with promises. There are proposals that don't look like temptation. They look like the answer to a prayer, and that's why today discernment is worth more than haste. You live in a time where people confuse movement with direction. They believe they are advancing just because they are busy. They believe they are growing just because they are being seen. But there is a kind of growth that inflates the ego and empties the spirit. There is a kind of success that is noisy on the outside, but silent on the inside. And that silence is the absence of my peace. And that's why today, before you accept that proposal, that invitation, that business, that relationship, that partnership, listen to what I tell you. Ask me first. Stop, close your eyes, breathe, step away from the noise. Get off social media for a bit, silence the anxiety and ask, Father, does this come from you? Because if it's from me, I confirm, I sustain, I protect, I cover. But if it's not, something will be missing, even if everything seems perfect, even if everyone says it's your opportunity. You're in a time where people measure value by numbers, where success is sold with promises of an ideal life, where storefronts are confused with truth, where someone can post a verse in the caption but live far from my presence in their heart. And I don't want you to fall into that deception. I made you to walk with depth, not with performance. I made you to carry my presence, not an appearance. So, when something seems too good to be true, perhaps it is exactly that, too good to be true. Because what comes from me does bring challenges, but it also brings peace to the spirit. It demands faith, yes, but it never demands that you negotiate your identity. It makes you grow, yes, but without you having to lose yourself in the process. Remember, son, daughter, there are people today who offer you opportunities while excluding me from the backstage. They want your talent, but not your essence. They want your image, but don't care about your truth. And you were not created to please everyone. You were formed to please me. And pleasing me will sometimes mean saying no when everyone expects you to say yes. It will mean losing followers. It will mean leaving certain environments. It will mean being misunderstood. But it will also mean remaining in peace, sleeping soundly, having a light heart, a clear mind, a life with purpose. You have been bombarded by notifications, messages, pressures. Everyone has an opinion about your life. Everyone wants you to do something now, urgently. And then you feel guilty for doubting, for wanting to think, for wanting to pray. But let me tell you something with all my love. Doubting in the name of wisdom is not weakness, it is maturity. Saying I don't know yet is often the greatest act of faith. Waiting for my confirmation is a test of trust. Because I don't want you to choose by impulse, but by the Spirit. I don't want you to jump at the first yes, but to walk hand in hand with me to the right place. Because when I am the one guiding, you don't need to run. You only need to walk one step at a time, in peace. How many times were you excited by something that seemed right? How many times did you think it was the moment, the person, the opportunity, and in the end you were disappointed? I saw your disappointment. I silently wiped your tears. I was there when you didn't understand why something so good ended so badly. And now you are again facing a proposal. Maybe it's a new job, a partnership, a contract, a relationship, a change, and everything seems aligned, but your spirit still doesn't have peace. And that is the sign, because when it's me, there is no confusion. When it's me, you don't need to force yourself to believe. Your soul feels it. When it's me, the scenario may even be challenging, but your peace will be unbreakable. Son, daughter, there will be people who offer you shortcuts. They will tell you they can accelerate your path, multiply your results, put your name where it never was. But let me remind you, a shortcut is not always progress. Sometimes it's a trap, and every time you try to skip the process, you lose the preparation, because the process molds your character, strengthens your roots, tests your motivation, teaches you to distinguish false from true. And that's what I want for you, that you be solid on the inside before being great on the outside, that you know who you are in me before the world tells you who you should be. There are things I will ask you to reject. There are paths I will not allow you to walk, and it will hurt. It will seem like a setback. It will seem crazy, but keep this truth in your heart. Every surrender made in my name transforms into harvest. Every silent obedience becomes a testimony. Every no said by faith transforms into a better door, because I am faithful. I see what you do not see. I know intentions you do not perceive, and that is why. Trust, even if you don't understand, even if it hurts, even if it seems solitary, because you are not alone. I am with you in every choice, in every wait, in every renunciation, in every prayer not answered as you wished. And when the exact moment arrives, and it will arrive, you will look back and understand everything. You will see clearly why that proposal was not for you. You will be grateful for not having forced doors that I myself closed. You will realize that your integrity was worth more than any contract, that your peace was worth more than any partnership, that your silent obedience built a legacy invisible to human eyes, but eternal in my eyes. Because I did not call you to build empires of sand, I called you to build on the rock, and everything built on me endures. Therefore now, son, daughter, breathe deeply. Breathe as one who releases control, as one who drops the weight they have carried alone for too long. Breathe as one who understands that they no longer need to desperately prove anything to anyone. Silence. Silence that noise that comes from outside, but also that clamor that comes from within. The thoughts that scream that you are late, that you lost time, that others have already moved on and you stayed behind. Turn off the voices of the world, that feed that compares you, the hasty advice of those who don't know your process, the opinions of those who only see results, but not your prayers at dawn, your wet pillow, your hidden renunciations. Turn them off and listen to my voice, because my voice doesn't rush you, it aligns you. My voice doesn't blame you, it comforts you. My voice doesn't force you to run, it teaches you to walk with wisdom. I did not come to condemn you for doubting, for having questions, for still learning to wait. I came to protect you, to protect your heart from wounds disguised as love, to protect your mind from burdens disguised as responsibility, to protect your essence from being molded by a world that values appearance more than presence. I did not come to prune you out of caprice, like one who takes away your joy just to impose authority. I came to preserve you, to preserve your truth, to preserve your purpose, to preserve your story, which is sacred to me, even the parts you think no one sees, the ones that don't shine, the ones that hurt in silence. You are precious to me, and when I say precious, it's not something generic. It's because I know you inside out, word for word, detail by detail. I know you in the joys you cannot express, and in the pains you still don't dare to speak aloud. I know where your soul trembles, where you still have fear, where you feign strength but only wish for a hug. And even so, I love you completely. Your story is sacred. Your steps, your mistakes, your new beginnings, everything is part of the book I myself carefully wrote. And your journey is not a race. It doesn't matter if others seem to have arrived first. I don't compare you. I don't time you. Your journey is a mission. It is meaningful sowing. It is a seed with a destiny. And I will not allow any proposal to take you off the sacred path that I have traced with love and care. Because you were born to shine, yes, but not with artificial light that tires, deceives, and quickly fades. You were born to be true light, the kind that is born from within, the one that illuminates even in silence. You were born to influence, yes, but with truth, with coherence, with presence, not with shouts, but with life. You were born to grow, not in haste, but with depth, to grow with firm roots, with fruit that nourishes, with shade that shelters. So now walk one step at a time. Don't rush. Don't demand too much of yourself. Don't compare yourself. Walk with discernment, knowing that there are times when silence is more strategic than any movement. With prayer, because every time you kneel and talk to me, I listen, even if you think I don't. Walk with courage to say no when necessary, even if that disappoints expectations, even if it hurts to cut ties, even if it seems like you lost something. Because sometimes losing is protecting, sometimes rejecting is advancing. Walk with humility to wait when everyone seems to be running, because you don't need to run after what is already yours. Walk with faith, mature faith. Faith that trusts even when it doesn't understand, faith that waits even when everyone else has left. Because when it is my time, and it always comes, you will not need to force anything. You will be called. The right doors will open effortlessly because I myself will be turning the keys. You will not need to show off or try to impress. You will be recognized not for your achievements, but for my hand upon your life. And you will not need to beg for opportunities, for space, for validation. I will move heaven and earth, people and situations, circumstances and hearts to place you in the right place. With the right people at the exact time. Because everything I prepare has a purpose. Nothing is casual, nothing is wasted. And when that day comes, because it will come, you will understand everything. You will look back and see the care in the details. You will see that every no was a rescue, that every wait was construction, that every silence was an answer. You will remember this word. You will remember this exact moment when you thought of accepting something out of fear of losing and decided to wait by faith. You will remember that your Father always knew the way. Even when you didn't see, I saw. Even when you didn't feel, I guided. Even when you wanted to give up, I held your hand. And you will realize that saying no to the world was the biggest yes you gave me. And that silent yes, hidden, perhaps even painful, was the yes that changed your history. Because it was the yes that preserved your essence. It was the yes that kept you firm when everything around you trembled. It was the yes that honored me even when no one applauded. And that yes is the one I love to receive the most. Because it is not born of convenience. It is born of trust, of surrender, of true love. Now, son or daughter, rest. Not as one who surrenders, but as one who trusts. Let the world keep spinning fast. You only need to remain in peace, in certainty, in the secret place where I speak with you, renew you, prepare you, affirm you. Because the proposal that comes from me is like this. It will arrive at the exact moment and will not ask you to hide who you are. It will confirm who you always were in me. You have heard me speak about waiting, about discernment, about peace. But now I want to take you deeper into what it means to live fully anchored in my presence, amid the chaos of your world. It is not enough to say yes to me in moments of quiet. You must learn to carry that yes into the noise, into the demands, into the distractions that seek to pull you away from your true path. The heart that is anchored in me does not waver with every new opportunity or every shifting trend. It is steady, like a tree planted by a river whose roots grow deep even when storms rage. This steadiness is not born of stubbornness, but of a profound trust that I am working all things for your good, even when you cannot see the full picture. You will face moments when the voices around you grow louder than my whisper. Friends, colleagues, even family may pressure you to conform, to take shortcuts, to chase after what seems easier or more glamorous. In those moments, remember that your identity is not defined by approval or applause, but by the silent covenant between your soul and me. There is a subtle danger in seeking validation from the world. It can become a cage that confines your spirit. When you measure your worth by likes, comments, or the number of people who follow your path, you risk losing sight of the unique calling I have placed within you. Your value is not in the crowd, but in the quiet obedience to the voice that knows your name intimately. I want you to cultivate a life where your first response to any proposal is to listen, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. This listening requires patience, a willingness to sit in stillness, and a readiness to hear what is not spoken aloud. It is in these sacred pauses that I reveal the true nature of the paths before you. Do not be afraid of silence. In a world that prizes noise and haste, silence is a sanctuary. It is where your soul can breathe, where clarity emerges, and where the distractions fall away like leaves in the wind. When you learn to embrace silence, you create space for me to speak clearly and powerfully into your heart. You may wonder how to distinguish between your own desires and my guidance. This discernment grows through intimacy with me. The more you dwell in my presence, the more your spirit aligns with mine. Your desires begin to reflect my heart, and your decisions bear the fruit of peace even amid uncertainty. Remember, peace is not the absence of challenges, but the presence of my spirit within you. When you face trials, if your heart remains calm and your mind clear, you can be confident that I am leading you. Conversely, if anxiety, confusion, or unrest accompany a choice, it is a signal to pause and seek deeper clarity. There will be times when the right path is not the easiest one. The world may offer quick fixes, shortcuts, or promises of immediate success, but these often come at the cost of your integrity and spiritual health. I call you to a higher standard, one that values perseverance, faithfulness, and character over instant gratification. You are not called to be a flash in the pan, a momentary sensation that burns bright and fades quickly. You are called to be a light that endures, a steady flame that warms and guides others through the darkest nights. This kind of light requires nurturing, protection, and sometimes sacrifice. Sacrifice is not a word to fear, but to embrace with understanding. It means choosing what is eternal over what is temporary, what is true over what is convenient. It means sometimes saying no to opportunities that seem good, but would lead you away from the path I have set. I know this can be hard. The temptation to conform, to please others, to avoid conflict is real and powerful. But I promise you that the peace that comes from obedience far outweighs the fleeting comfort of compromise. When you choose me over the crowd, you are choosing a legacy that will outlast time. Your journey is unique, and your steps are measured by my timing, not the world's clock. Do not rush to catch up with others or to prove your worth through achievements. Your worth is established in my eyes, and your timing is perfect when it aligns with my plan. In moments of doubt, remember that I am not distant or indifferent. I am intimately involved in every detail of your life. I am the unseen hand that guides your steps, the quiet voice that comforts your heart, the steady presence that never leaves you. You may feel alone in your struggles, misunderstood in your choices, or weary from waiting. Yet I am with you. I carry your burdens, I strengthen your spirit, and I renew your hope. Lean into me when the road is hard, and you will find rest for your soul. Do not be discouraged by setbacks or closed doors. These are not signs of failure, but invitations to trust deeper. Sometimes a door closes not to stop you, but to redirect you toward a better path, one that you could not have seen without my intervention. Your faithfulness in small things prepares you for greater things. Do not despise the humble beginnings or the quiet seasons. They are the soil in which your character grows, the training ground for the mission I have entrusted to you. I want you to develop discernment not only in big decisions, but in everyday moments. The choices you make in how you speak, how you treat others, how you manage your time and resources, these reflect your heart's alignment with me. Be vigilant against the subtle ways the enemy tries to distract you, through busyness, through comparison, through the lure of immediate gratification. These are traps that steal your focus and drain your spiritual vitality. Instead, cultivate habits that root you in my truth, daily prayer, meditation on my nature, fellowship with those who encourage your faith, and acts of service that reflect my love. These practices build resilience and sharpen your spiritual senses. Your mind is a battlefield. Guard it carefully. Reject thoughts that sow doubt, fear, or pride. Instead, feed your mind with truths that affirm your identity in me and your purpose in this world. Remember that your body is also a temple. Care for it with respect and discipline, for it is the vessel through which my spirit moves. Neglecting your physical health can hinder your spiritual walk. Community matters. Surround yourself with those who speak life, who challenge you to grow, and who walk the path of faith alongside you. Isolation can lead to confusion and vulnerability, yet be discerning about who you allow into your inner circle. Not everyone who claims to support you has your best interests at heart.